YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. Of course, I don't know who else it would be on my channel. I don't know why I always have to announce that it's the HeirofCarthage, but I do. Thank you for being here today. Hope you all are ready for some online battles. If you're ready to go, then let's jump in. I know I am. I'm still recording on the road. I've had a few of you comment like, oh, your mic sounds different. Well, I'm on the road. Even when I use my regular mic on the road, it sounds different. I'm using a new one that someone sent me. And sometimes people's feedback cracks me up. They're like, it just sucks. Tell me why you don't like it, and then it helps me fix it. Anyway, I think I've made some adjustments that make it better than it was, because I did get some good feedback from some people, so thank you. But if you're one of those people that just needs to tell me it sucks, that's okay too. I won't hold it against you. So we're going to watch a replay here from Chiquifco. It's quite the mouthful there. He's going to be playing as Tomb Kings. He is going up against the Greenskins, and I have another replay for you as well. So it's a twofer. We're going to get 2 for 1 tonight. Let's check out his army. So he's got 4 skeletal horse archers, a front line of skeleton spearmen, which very weak front line. He's got a couple of Ushabti great bow. Let's see who he's got here. Archon the Black and a chariot. Double scorpion? 1 scorpion. And then there's a chariot and looks like some Necropolis Knights with halberds on both flanks. So he's got some anti-large, he's got some anti-infantry, very weak infantry line, but he's got a very significant range component with 4 horse archers, and then the Ushabti with great bow. So the Greenskins packing some anti-large themselves. Boarboy Biggins, I think that's a solid pick. He's got some range with the Gobble Rocklobber, Azag the Slaughterer, a couple of Gobbo big bosses, main line of Black Orcs. I think the Black Orcs are probably a solid choice because they're a threat to many Tomb Kings units, but Black Orcs are focused anti-infantry, and it focuses a lot of spend in one unit that makes stuff like Kimrian War Sphinxes and other things do very well. Now granted, Black Orcs are going to be immune to psychology, which is very helpful against the Kimrian War Sphinx, but now remember, Tomb Kings don't have a lot of armor. So I really think that Savage Orcs and Biggins are going to be a really good pick for the most part, as long as you can hold their leadership together, because the Savage Orcs are going to pack a huge weapon strength, and against units that don't have a lot of armor, it quickly kills them. So let's see what happens. We got some Gobbos, and the Boars are just rushing straight forward. I think they're going to regret this. But they... oh, wow. No, he's going to catch these Ushabti with great bow. That's going to be fantastic for the Greenskins. A huge mistake on the part of the Tomb Kings player here. You can see, this is why I tell you that Boarboy Biggins are a highly underrated unit sometimes. Look how good they do here. They're anti-armor and anti-large. Yeah, they're a little squishy, but the damage that they cause here and how quickly they do it, these guys trade really well with a lot of units, including probably Necropolis Knights with halberds. So they wouldn't beat them, but they would trade fairly well. Look, right here, exactly what I told you. These Tusk Mob taking these guys on, doing a pretty dang good job of it. Now Tusk Mob should be closer than this, but there was probably some hits from some of these other units first. See, the Tomb Kings are getting the Liber Mortis here, which is the physical resistance. That's actually a good call early on in this engagement, because the Black Orcs are still on their charge. These Boar Boys get mismicroed. Azag's going to come into the fight, and then that's going to be the opportunity for Archon to slip behind the lines. And he's going to be rolling through on this chariot, trying to get into the back of infantry, I suppose. Looks like he's a little slow to react to certain things here. He's casted Soul Blight, which is going to slow down the weapon damage of the Black Orcs. So now he's kind of split up. Still got a Scorpion that's being held in reserve. The Skeleton Spears actually having a great deal of success over here, getting rid of some Boar Biggins. The help of the archers. Here comes the chariot flooding in from the side, so nice job hanging onto these chariots and start working the flank of the Black Orcs. These chariots will be very squishy to Black Orcs. They're going to need to hit and run. Most of the Black Orc line is still pretty intact, as expected. And it looks like the Tomb Kings are trying to skirmish their way on into victory. And these Horse Archers are a great counter to the light missile cavalry that the Greenskins have to offer. So let's just kind of see what plays out here. The Ushabti with great bow only lost 2 unit models. And I'm trying to think where the other one... oh, the other one's moving all the way to the flank out here. I like that. Move to the flank. Archon caught by some boar boys, and he is not loving life right now. Or unlife, I should say. But the boar boys aren't quite going to have enough left to take care of business there. Which means that the greenskin infantry is going to mop this one up. Now remember, we tested Scorpion against Black Orcs. Now of course it has to deal with a few broken tusk mob. The Scorpion will not kill a Black Orc unit head on. So it really needs to be fighting with other infantry to be effective in this type of battle. When it gets singled out like this, the Scorpion's going to take a pretty intense amount of damage. But this is creating a blob. Wa used here. So Azag keeping his troops motivated. Cutting through. Looks like the Tomb Kings are going to focus on mopping up the cavalry units of the Greenskins. That means they can finish skirmishing, and then the Ushabti with Great Bow are free to skirmish as well. And you're seeing the number of Black Orcs dwindle a little bit here. The summoned unit of Ushabti can now come support the Scorpion. Now we'll get some pretty serious damage done. But again, Ushabti, Scorpion, not going to be able to head-to-head all these Black Orcs. They would do better if they had infantry support. The Tomb King's infantry can crumble pretty quickly. Sometimes purposeful, so you can fill up this Realm of Souls. It is slowly picking away the numbers of the Black Orcs. So you're seeing that their units starting to become less and less numerous. Getting down to the last arrows on the Skeletal Horsemen, then they can be used for a little bit of charging. We've got the Chosen of the Gods now, completely behind the Black Orcs and at near point-blank range at this point. I wonder what they're doing. Oh, he's going to charge in. No? It's like he was... No, he's moving up to point-blank. I can't tell if he's moving up point-blank or if he meant to charge or maybe misclicked something. But the Chosen of the Gods is actually in melee, so you're seeing them have some melee animations here. They're going to back up now. They'll definitely want to take advantage of this blob as long as they can. If I were him, I would throw in more horsemen that are out of ammo to try and hold that blob together, because it's a beautiful target for the Ushabti, who are now going to have to deal with 2 Gabo big bosses. Never mind. The horsemen can stop that, so good use of the horsemen who are out of ammo. This is going to be kind of tough, but I think that the Tomb Kings have the right tools left. If they can keep these Ushabti... Oh. If they can't keep these Ushabti close or safe, it's going to be bad. Chosen of the Gods now racking up some serious kills. Let's see what their the targets right here on these Black Orcs. Comes a Soul Blight. Again, that's going to slow down their weapon damage. And now Azag going to kick the bucket. So that could spell disaster. Remember though, you can't route Black Orcs on Terror or Fear. You can leadership route them, but not on Terror or Fear. Archon is in pretty rough shape. He's going to have to be very careful. These Goblin big bosses are a serious threat to him. He's going to put in the Liber Mortis again. And he really has to let this Chosen of the Gods skirmish it out. Looks like he was... Yeah, he's trying to kill Azag. Thinking the Chosen... Yeah, the Chosen of the Gods, though, is still firing at the Black Orcs. That's a good call. They're up to 98 kills. They're getting a lot of kills. And this Ushabti with the Great Bow came back. It's still got 8 ammunition. So it looks like, even though the power bar is still favoring the Greenskins, this is really going to be in favor of the Tomb Kings. Well, I don't know, because Archon's about to kick the bucket. He does kick the bucket to the Gabo Big Boss. So the Greenskin infantry's broken. But you got 2 big bosses left. There's actually a Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archer back there that's being mismicroed at the moment. The Chariots and the Horsemen can round up the routing Black Orcs. Does he have enough left to kill 2 Gabo big bosses? He does have all these spearmen, so possibly so. If this Black Orc comes back, though, it could be somewhat disastrous. Kind of almost feel like this Chariot should have been focused over here on this Black Orc that wasn't protected by the big boss. Chosen of the Gods is out of ammunition, and this Ushabti with Great Bow is wavering. Power bar favors the Greenskins here. Okay, the Horsemen are going to come in. I mean, the Gabo big bosses will do okay versus the Skeletal Horsemen, not as good as they would some things, but they're not going to do bad. Looks like they're really trying to hunt down these Ishabti with Great Bow. Spider Riders have poison. You can see that's going to have a pretty decent impact here. Leadership is low, and then the weapon strength is nerfed somewhat. But the Ushabti, of course, mop up the Spider Rider archers pretty quick. The Black Orc did come back from routing. Alright, this big boss is going to get charged. This big boss is in a bit of trouble because there's quite a few Tomb Kings around him, but there's a few Black Orcs that regrouped. And here, let's just kind of watch this fight between the Ushabti with the Great Bow and the Gabo Big Boss. Now, he poisons this unit, I believe. Maybe not, though. He does have poison attacks. I'm not seeing the poison effects on this unit right now, though. The Gabo Big Boss starting to waver. All of a sudden, both Big Bosses wavering, even though the power bar is not against them. Looks like the Big Boss is stabilized, maybe an attack in the rear. One of them's wavering again, the other's pretty stable. Got a new Ushabti wavering. This is going to be close, people. It's going to be real close. I don't think there's any other units that have come back. This Black Orc that regrouped that didn't get chased down, that's 28 Black Orcs this late in the fight. But a Big Boss just routed. The other Big Boss routed. If he could pursue the Big Boss with the Horse Archers, but they're tied up with these Black Orcs, and pulling out of combat's causing them trouble, and then the Big Boss regroups. He really has to chase this Gabo Big Boss, but this unit's crumbling as well. It's not going to last forever. I mean, he still has the two Ushabti units. They can deal quite a bit of damage, but their leadership is wavering. The power bar actually just scooted a little bit in favor of the Tomb Kings here. Okay, the Black Orc's gone. He's got to make sure that that Black Orc doesn't come back. There's still 21 unit models there. The Skeleton Horsemen crumbled out, and see, this Big Boss came back, and then the power bar slings back in favor of the Greenskins. This Ushabti has to hunt down the Black Orc, so it can't assist over here. It's going to turn around, though, and try and countercharge the Gabo Big Boss, so it doesn't get charged in the back. It's probably a good idea, because the leadership is so low. Over here, the Gabo Big Boss looks like he's going to succumb to being surrounded. The extra infantry unit's helping a lot here because they tank some of the damage. So that Skeleton Spear, pretty useful unit there. That's going to put that Big Boss out of commission. This Big Boss routes, and that just means the Black Orcs that are left won't be able to hold their leadership together. So the Tomb Kings are just barely going to carry this one out. But then, oh look, this Chosen of the Gods is crumbling, and the Ushabti with Great Bow is crumbling. If they don't rout these Black Orcs quickly, they're going to lose. They have to rout those Black Orcs now. Fortunately, the Skeleton Spearmen are holding on in terms of leadership. Yeah, if he would have waited just a few more moments to rout those Black Orcs, the Greenskins would have won. Because the Skeleton Spearmen wouldn't have been able to take down the Black Orcs. So that was extremely close between Chikifko and Maximus there. So good game, guys. That was very entertaining. Really enjoyed that one. Thanks to Chikifko for sending that one in. Really interesting. The Black Orcs were hard to kill, as I expected they would be for the Tomb Kings. They definitely have tools for killing infantry. But, I mean, when it comes to, like, infantry on infantry, the Greenskins are infinitely better than the Tomb Kings. That's like the Greenskin specialty, is they've got an infantry for all occasions, basically. So Tomb Kings not so much, right? Their specialty lies in constructs and magic and stuff like that. So definitely an interesting match. So really appreciate him sending that one in. Let's check out the other replay that came into me. This is going to be from Obnoxious Potato, who's playing as the Dark Elves. Looks like we got some Malekith, Death Hag, some Dread Spears, Dread Swords, Hargoneth Executioners, Crossbow Cav. What do we got? Got some cold ones. That'll be interesting to see. Also playing against the Greenskins, this time a Warlord and a Gabo Shaman. And let's check out all of the army here. We saw most of the Dark Elf army. Got a Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, Mangy Marauders, Night Gobbos, Night Gobbo Archers, Biggins, Black Orcs in the main line. So a lot of anti-large. But, I mean, Orc Biggins will actually hold their own in an unarmored infantry fight really well. Their only real drawback is their leadership, because their weapon damage there at 42 makes them good against anything that's relatively low armor. But this one Black Orc is going to be savagely outclassed by 2 Harganeth Executioners. Yeah, there's your war boss, the Giant. The Giant's a risky pick versus the Dark Elves because they are very skirmishy. And we got some Savage Orc Boar Boys. Just regular Savage Orc Boar Boys. They're coming up against a Cold One Dread Knight and a Cold One Knight. Now remember, the Dread Knight is just a heavier version with extra armor and it's anti-armor. The Dread Knight is anti-armor, anti-large, but with less armor and defense capabilities itself. So the Dark Elves definitely hold the advantage in the anti-large engagement. And in terms of infantry, the Witch Elves will be nice if they can drive the Black Orcs of the Giant or the War Boss crazy, because the Executioners are going to clean house in this engagement, and the only real tools the Greenskins have to stop it is really kind of the Giant. Look at this, rear charge immediately into the Orc Biggins. Not going to do a lot though, because the charge wasn't that good. We got some crossbow cavalry, I believe, caught up here. No, Dark Riders with shields that were kind of coming in from that flank. Over here, some Bleak Swords, the Death Hag. She's not on a cauldron, so she is going to be in a bad place in life right now. Got the Dark Riders, yeah, Dark Riders with their Peter crossbow. Cold One Knights easily besting the Savage Orc Boar Boys. Let's see, the other unit pulled out over here and got a hold of the Rusty Air, so huge problem for the Greenskins. Main infantry fight, we've got the Giant all over these Witch Elves, and the Witch Elves go down very quickly because they were engaged to Black Orcs, so that was definitely a mistake. The Bleak Swords are kind of just hanging out. The Bleak Swords should have engaged the Big Uns, and then the Dread Spears should have come after the Giant. They could bog it down very nicely. Harganeth Executioners wrecked these Orc Biggins, and over here, these Executioners are wrecking these infantry units as well. It's a mix of Goblins and Orc Biggins. Malekith is on foot, looking pretty funny walking around that way, actually. He's in Soul Stealer. I think that works better on infantry blobs, if I remember right. So a bit of a miss micro there. Let's see, Dark Riders, Repeater Crossbows, just shooting at stuff, which is fine. These Dread Knights are rampaging. That's definitely a downside to Cold One Cavalry. They will rampage. Executioners can't catch the War Boss, nor will they really be able to catch these Night Goblin Archers. Malekith is quite safe. There's really no huge threat to him right now. This Orc War Boss could charge him a lot, but overall Malekith, I don't know, they get armor piercing on that War Boss, but he's already damaged and Malekith has all the spells and stuff, so the War Boss would be smart to stay away from Malekith, I think, for now. The Black Orcs have busted through the center there. I don't know if he has a better option. These Repeater Crossbows should be focusing down the Giant. The Executioners would easily mop up Night Goblins. So I think this is a bit of a mistake in the unit assignment here, because the Executioners will take a lot of damage to this Giant. But now they're going to get over to the Night Gobbo Shaman, and if the Greenskin player doesn't keep that Shaman safe, it's going to be a big loss. See, Malekith is taking the Giant head-to-head. The Giant doesn't have much armor, so Malekith's lack of armor piercing in this case won't be a huge miss. Looks like he's holding up quite nicely to the Giant so far. The Giant keeps missing him. I mean, Malekith does have pretty solid melee defense at 55. So the Executioners are going to be what the Dark Elves need to carry the day. They rout the Night Gobbo Shaman, which is going to help because he's probably making it hard for Malekith to regain his magic. Over here, he's got some Dread Knights that are engaged against Big Uns. Those will be dead soon. Repeater Crossbows, though, there are some Night Gobbo Archers here that aren't firing at the crossbows, so a mistake on the part of the... Look at Malekith, like he is just not even phased by this Giant. He's been going toe-to-toe with this giant. I'm kind of surprised. Usually this will get your lord killed in a hurry. Malekith's just owning this giant. He finally took a hit. But yeah, Malekith was just sitting here owning the giant like it was nothing. So many hit points on the giant, though. That's another big worry about taking this kind of fight. But I mean, dude, he's making it happen. Using his chill wind. These witch elves came back from routing. Executioners punched through another blob. And these executioners back here, fighting the black orcs, they should do just fine. Black orcs really only have a charge bonus over the executioners. Otherwise, the executioners are really a superior unit all around. Look at that. Malekith is just going to 1v1 this giant. Used Wa. The orc warlord moved away far enough that the giant, he does have Wa right now. And he's sharing it with these black orcs. That actually was a good move. Because those black orcs needed that to get back in that fight. The repeater crossbows have just focused all their energy on kind of pointless targets, to be honest. The giant would have been a much better target, or the orc war boss, for that matter. Either one. So let's see what happens. So yeah, I think quite a few mistakes made in this battle, but that's okay. People make mistakes. I do too. It's alright for us to analyze that. Plus, we still get to watch some good old stomping, which, that's always a good time. Ah, the rainbow in the background. Witch elves. Woo! That was the wrong time arrived to that party. But the giant's rampaging. Orc war boss is trying to get out of there because the night gobos are rampaging. So plenty of trouble going on right now for the greenskins. I don't think they're going to be able to pull out us when there's 4 minutes left, though, which is interesting. He's got some units scattered around that he's not microing very well. These units probably wasted all their ammo on the dread spears, so got to keep an eye on that type of thing. Malekith ended up getting himself killed. Itchy nuisance. So he's going to leave the battlefield feeling a little bit rashy. Giants out. So yeah, Malekith just tried to tank out too much on his own. Eventually it got the better of him. Goes the war boss. The witch elves haven't routed, but they went over and attacked the Night Gobbo Shaman. Wa again. And Malekith is going to get embarrassingly run down by the orc war boss that could have been shot up by the repeater crossbows. And should have been shot up by the repeater crossbows. Looks like some repeater crossbows finally here. But they still have ammo and they're charging him in melee too. But it's going to work because they're going to surround him and kill his leadership. That's actually kind of surprising. But if anybody was going to lose leadership there, it would be a greenskin. Their leadership is not great. Kind of a plague of them and Skaven and a lot of Beastmen units. The war boss, though, may come back from routing right in the middle of all this. He's kind of regaining some of his leadership. Still wavering a bit, though. So we'll have to see what happens. If he doesn't let this war boss get away, he's still going to have a tough fight on his hands, potentially, because of the Night Gobbo archers. Does get an itchy nuisance in there from the Night Goblin. Let's see if he ever collected those Wolf Riders from the flank. Yeah, he did, but the Wolf Riders were used against Hargoneth Executioners instead of the Dark Riders. It's an odd choice. The Executioners would be better dealt with by shooting all your arrows into them. This Executioner needs to be brought back into the fight. And the repeater crossbows are finally going to back up and start shooting, but once again, not choosing their target. The giant is very weak. You know, this last volley or two of ammunition could put the giant out of the fight. And the giant is a very, very real threat to these executioners. He could rout them. Yeah, fall back. It's an appropriate idea. So the greenskin looks like he might get the better of this engagement. Still got a few dread spears here. And the crossbow cavalry. The crossbow cavalry is going to charge again, even though they still have ammunition left on one of them. Giant doesn't have good leadership, but you know, a good hit or two, and these cavalry are dead. But the giant drops. They killed him. If the greenskin doesn't micro these archers away, it may be his undoing here. Oh, the power bar swung back even though. And the executioners are both back. I think if one of the executioners routes again, though, it might be permanent because I think it's routed twice. Now the power bar swinging back to the Dark Elves. I actually thought the greenskin was going to carry that one. Dark Elves, very fortunate there that the crossbow cavalry held strong in melee. I didn't think they would. See, find yourself get surprised. Even though there was a match with a lot of mistakes there, you got a surprise ending. I really did think the greenskins were going to win that one. So, fun game from both players. Like I said, yeah, there was mistakes made, but I definitely appreciate the submitter, the potato, for sending this one in. Thank you, man. It was fun to watch. And if you want to send me battles, HeirofCarthage@gmail.com. Just send me the replay file. Tell me why I should watch a replay. And I appreciate all of you who do send in the replays. I like getting to these and mixing them in with my own battles. That way you get to see my play style. You get to see the play style of other people in the community. We get to see people playing at a high level. We get to see people playing at low levels. People who are doing, you know, kind of scenario type battles. Which, speaking of, that'd be one that I kind of want to take a look at here soon. If you all have some team battles where you've set up some good like lore-based scenarios, shoot those my way. I'd like to take a look at it. Again, airtotalwar@gmail.com. I think it'd be fun for us to do that this weekend, maybe. Take a look at some kind of lore-focused battles. So, like, for instance, grudge matches or, you know, lore matches, whatever you can think of. Or just fun alliances, whatever you come up with. Anyway, thanks to Obnoxious Potato and Aaron Dalf. It was fun, guys. We take a look. The Executioner's getting a ton of kills, as expected in this particular case, but the Black Orc also got a ton of kills. I think they wrecked those Witch Elves early on. It was pretty bad. But anyway, fun times. Hope you all enjoyed the videos today. Appreciate MSI being the sponsor of my channel. They're a great sponsor. Help me out. All the equipment that I have at my house for recording and all that stuff, a big part of it is due to them, and they're a great sponsor. So thank you, and appreciate you being here to watch these. I always continue to be amazed by all the views that you all bring, and I am thrilled to know that you enjoy the content, and I love making it for you. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe. There'll be more. I try and keep the videos coming every day. I do miss days here and there, but that's my goal. Keep them coming every day. So HeirofCarthage signing out. I will see you all soon.